Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. And a little while ago, I was sitting in a meeting with Motorola and they were talking about this upcoming flagship they were coming out with, which makes me very excited because they haven't come out with a flagship in a little while now. Anyways, sitting in this meeting and I was slowly nodding my head because they were checking a lot of the boxes needed to actually come out with a true flagship device. And today they announced that device, the Motorola Edge Plus. I've got it right here. With the Edge Plus, you have the latest Snapdragon 865 processor from Qualcomm. You have a 108 megapixel main sensor to the camera, 90 hertz display. It even has 90-degree edges to it, so pretty steep edges. However, they add features to those edges. We'll talk about that in just a second, and you can even turn off the edges on the phone. So we'll check all that out in the unboxing right now. We'll quickly take a look what comes in the box and get some hands-on with the phone. Let's go ahead and get started. Couple very important points about the Edge Plus. First of all, it is exclusive to Verizon, which is kind of a bummer for non-Verizon users. It does use Verizon's 5G millimeter wave, but this will not work on any other carrier but Verizon, so that's a bummer. And at launch, the base model will be $999. So here is the Edge Plus from Motorola. Let's quickly show what comes in the box. Talk about some of the specs of this flagship. So right away, here is the phone. I'm gonna set it to the side for just a second. We're gonna quickly see what else comes in the box. Pretty standard README and SIM ejection tool. You have your USB Type-A to USB Type-C charging cable and your turbo power charging brick, which will charge at 15 watts. And on to what you came to see, the Edge Plus from Motorola. There is a lot more content coming for this device, so be sure to click that subscribe button so you're notified when I go live. A lot more videos coming soon. So right out of the box, first thing I'm noticing is the curved sides. Like I said, 90-degree angle. We'll show that off with the display itself, but your thumb is definitely gonna rest on it, so edge detection is going to be very important. Or of course, like I said, you can turn it off. Let's go ahead and press that power button on the side, which has some texture, and while it boots up, take a close look at the phone. Down at the bottom, SIM card slot, USB Type-C, and one of the stereo speakers. Motorola was saying that these speakers are supposed to be one of the best, so I'll have to do some testing of those. And here is the edge to it, the sides of it. Like I mentioned, that the power button does have some texture to it, along with the volume rockers being on top. Hey, check it out. Motorola still includes a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack up at the top of their flagship device in 2020. On the left side of the device, absolutely nothing. Flipping it over to the back is that triple camera system. Like I said, 108 megapixels to the main sensor. You also have an ultra wide and telephoto lens. And just a close up of that coloring. I'm actually a fan. It's fairly subtle, looks really good, and changes depending on the light. Flipping it on over, here's a look at the bezels on the front, moving along up towards the top. There is a punch hole for that front-facing camera and our earpiece, which couples as that second stereo speaker. Okay, I'm going to run through the setup process and only talk about anything that is noteworthy. It does prompt you to set up that fingerprint scanner. If you do use a screen protector, make sure it is a compatible one. It is an in-display fingerprint scanner, as you can tell. So we're gonna set that up. Just go ahead and touch and lift. Set our thumb down and move our finger. Generally, when you do set up in-display fingerprint scanners, they do take longer than the physical ones on devices. All right, fingerprint is added. You can add another if you'd like to, or we can be all finished. All done with the setup process. Moving screens looks like it does have a reactive wallpaper, so those waves are moving. Kind of neat with the edged display that it does have. So let's dive into the Edge Plus. One thing Motorola does well is keeping their device somewhat similar to stock Android with a few tweaks to it that add functionality. Here's their home launcher with Google Feed on the left side. Swipe up to get to your app drawer, and it does look like they are out of the box using gestures. So if you swipe from the right, it'll go ahead and go back. If you go ahead and swipe up, it'll go back home, swipe up and pause. We'll get to recent. So essentially the stock Android gestures. Now this is a 6.67 inch OLED display at 1080p. And like I mentioned, it does have 90 hertz capabilities. After scrolling through, I can just tell that it's not on 60 hertz out of the box. So if you jump into settings, go into display, click on advanced, scroll down, there is the refresh rate. So 90 hertz will make it smoother overall, but it will drain a little bit more battery. And speaking of battery, this device has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So I am hoping that this will easily get me through a day, potentially even a day and a half. Now, Motorola does say 2 days of battery life, but we'll see. More on that, of course, to come. Now, if I do want to test out that fingerprint scanner, we can go ahead and do so. With the screen off, tap the screen and set our thumb on there, lock it, set our thumb down. Seems to work very well. You're just going to need to get used to that position. Like all in-display fingerprint scanners, you do get used to them over a little bit of time. As an extremely random side note, you can stand the Edge Plus up on its own very easily. And again, a close look at the Edge display that it does have, because there are features to this, so there's more to it than it just looking nice. So let's dive into some of those features of the display. First of all, you have some styles to apply. So getting started, you can really preview different ones, and they have themes. So let's say you wanted to choose a specific font, go ahead and hit next. Look at the coloring options. Just really customize it the way you like it. And this is Motorola added. So I think this is a great feature to Android that would be nice on stock Android, but Motorola decided they want to add it themselves. So let's say we wanted orange, hit next. Different icon shapes out of the box. I think I like circle the best still. You can choose the layout with grids and app drawers, and then you can name the theme. So instead of theme 1, let's call it Tim, hit done, and hit apply. And right away, I'm noticing the font has changed. Swiping down, look at that, there's orange. And don't worry, you do have a dark theme that you can apply, and it will apply system-wide and to compatible apps. You can also have them saved. So if I want to go back to default, I can just go ahead and hit apply and add different ones. Now, with the Edge, there is Edge lighting, where if you get a phone call, an alarm goes off, the lights the sides will actually light up. So if it is face down, you still will be able to see that notification come through. Now, I also mentioned you can turn off the edges if you don't actually like them, and that is when you are within an app. If you're at home, you do have to have them on, but if we go into Edge Display, you can pick and choose which apps it has the edges on. So let's say for the calculator, I want it off. I'm gonna go to my recent apps, go back into the calculator, and you'll see it'll resize that app, and there are no more edges. It does slightly come over the edge, but it will black out a lot more of the display. So if you are someone that doesn't like that, it can be turned off on a per app basis. Now, Motorola also has their Moto app with even more features added to the phone. So scrolling down, there's Moto Actions, Fast Flashlight, Quick Capture. So Fast Flashlight's great. You just go ahead and chop twice. It'll turn on the flashlight. You can chop twice to turn it back off. You also can twist the phone, and it will open up that camera app. This is the first time opening that one up. Swiping through different modes. They have portrait, night. You can go all the way up to that 108 megapixel instead of using pixel binning to bring it down to 27 megapixels. A few others within Moto display. So they have peak display, so you can interact with it when the display is off. So kind of like an always on display. It's actually really great. I'm a big fan of it. Now, Edge Touch. You can double tap on the edges for helpful shortcuts. This is what I'm talking about with functionality of the edges. So let's go ahead and jump into settings of that. You can turn on and off the Edge display with a double tap action, or you can switch to the last app. So if I double tap here, it vibrated, but it doesn't look like this app's compatible with turning off the Edge. But if we wanted to use it to switch to the last app, just double tap here, and there you go. It switched back and forth between these two apps quickly without even really having to move my thumb. So I can just go like that and go like that. It is a specific spot, so it's right where the two sides meet, where that action's gonna be. And right when I first got hands-on with this phone, it took a little while for me to figure out it's not the side, so tapping it on the side doesn't do anything. You have to go right on the edge to go back and forth. Finally, there's Moto Game Time to add features while playing games, and I do believe Motorola is pushing out an update to this before launch, so I will actually follow up on this, but you can also use it for things such as an L and R trigger on the Edge. So yet another function to the Edge. So while you're playing a game, you can go ahead and use triggers up at the top, which is pretty fantastic. More on that to come in a future video. I'll test it out with various games. Some other specs: 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is pretty crazy in a phone considering compared to a lot of laptops and desktops, you might not even have that much. It does have UFS 3.0 internal storage, which is expected out of a flagship. And like I mentioned, along with that 108 megapixel main sensor, we can just go ahead and snap a quick picture there, turn and take a picture here. It does have an 8 megapixel 3 times telephoto zoom. So if I do want to zoom in, this is 3x without losing zoom quality. And then of course it does have that ultra wide angle lens at 16 megapixel. And not only do you get good ultra wide shots out of this, there's a macro mode to this ultra wide angle lens. As an example, switching to macro mode, let's grab one of our little plants here and show you how close I can actually get to the phone, and you'll see it does still stay in focus. So there's a lot of cool pictures that you can take in macro modes. And I'm a big fan of just messing around with nature and just getting really close to different plants and things. So as you can see, just solid quality macro shots out of the ultra wide angle lens on the back. And overall, that is it for now with the Edge Plus from Motorola, that flagship device. If you have any questions or things you want me to cover, just drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this device. More to come for sure, so be sure to click that subscribe button. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.